What if I told you that the moment you're experiencing right now doesn't exist? What if now is nothing more than a neurological construct, a comfortable fiction your brain invented to help you navigate reality? And what if I could prove to you, using verified physics and simple logic, that there is no universal present moment, that now is different for everyone, and that the very concept of the present is an illusion we all share, but that has no basis in reality? Stay with me, because I'm about to destroy something you thought was the most obvious, undeniable fact of existence. The present moment, the now, the current instant you're living in. It doesn't exist, never has, never will. And once you understand why, once you see the evidence, you'll realize you've been living in a dream, a persistent, convincing dream, but a dream nonetheless. My name is Albert Einstein, and one of the most important discoveries of my life, one that people still struggle to accept over a century later, is this: there is no universal now, no present moment that everyone shares, no instant that's happening everywhere at once across the universe. Now is local, personal, relative to your frame of reference. What's happening now for you is not what's happening now for me if we're in different locations or moving at different speeds. And this isn't just a theoretical quirk of relativity. This is verified reality, measured, tested, confirmed by countless experiments. The present moment, as you understand it, as you experience it, it's an illusion created by your brain to make sense of information arriving from the past. You've never experienced now, you've only experienced a reconstruction of the very recent past that your consciousness presents as the present. And the sooner you understand this, the sooner you can stop living in denial and start grasping what reality actually is, which is stranger, more mysterious, and more profound than anything your common sense prepared you for.
Let me start with something simple, something you can understand without any physics background. Right now, you're reading these words or hearing them, and you think you're experiencing them in the present moment, in now. But that's not true. Here's why. Light takes time to travel. Sound takes time to travel. Neural signals take time to process. So everything you experience, everything you see and hear and feel, it all happened in the past. Not the distant past, but the past nonetheless. When you look at this screen, you're not seeing it as it is now. You're seeing it as it was a few nanoseconds ago. The time it took light to travel from the screen to your eyes, and then your eyes convert that light into electrical signals, and those signals travel along your optic nerve to your brain, and your brain processes those signals, constructs an image, and presents it to your consciousness. All of this takes time, milliseconds, so by the time you're consciously aware of seeing the screen, you're seeing the past, not the present. The present has already moved on. You're always behind, always experiencing a delayed reconstruction, never the actual present moment. The same is true for sound, for touch, for everything. Your entire experience of reality is delayed, reconstructed, presented as if it's happening now, but it's not. It's always slightly in the past. Your brain just smooths over this fact, creates the illusion of a coherent present moment, but that coherence is manufactured, artificial, not real. This is the first level of understanding. The present moment you experience is not actually present, it's a reconstruction of the very recent past. But it gets worse, much worse, because even if we ignore neural processing delays, even if we imagine some instantaneous awareness that could experience things as they actually happen, there still wouldn't be a universal now, because simultaneity is relative. This is what special relativity teaches, and it's the death blow to the concept of an objective present moment. Let me explain. Imagine you're standing still, and I'm moving past you at high speed, let's say half the speed of light, just to make the effect noticeable. You and I both have synchronized clocks. We set them to the same time when we were together. But now I'm moving away from you at tremendous velocity, and we're both looking at distant events in the universe, a supernova exploding in a galaxy far away, an asteroid hitting a planet, anything. We're observing the same events, and we ask, did these two events happen at the same time, simultaneously? And the shocking answer is that we will disagree. From your reference frame, standing still, one event happened before the other. But from my reference frame, moving at high speed, they happened in the opposite order, or maybe they were simultaneous for me, but not for you. Our nows are different. What you consider to be happening now at that distant location is different from what I consider to be happening now at that same location. Not because we're measuring wrong, but because now is relative, depends on motion, on reference frame. There is no absolute simultaneity, no universal present moment that everyone shares.
This is not speculation. This is verified physics. We've tested it. We've measured it. It's real. And it means that now is not a property of the universe. It's a property of the observer. You have your now, I have mine, and they're different, and there's no way to say which one is correct, because they're both correct, equally valid, equally real from their respective reference frames. So when you ask what's happening right now on Alpha Centauri, which is about 4 light years away, there is no objective answer. The answer depends on who's asking, depends on their motion, their reference frame. From one perspective, a particular event is happening now on Alpha Centauri. From another perspective, that same event happened yesterday or will happen tomorrow, and both perspectives are valid. There's no privileged frame of reference, no God's eye view from which there's one true present moment. The universe doesn't have a universal now. It has countless nows, one for each possible observer, all equally valid, all different. This is the death of the present, the destruction of now as an objective feature of reality, and it follows inescapably from the relativity of simultaneity, from the constancy of the speed of light, from the equations I derived in 1905, from experiments conducted thousands of times since then. This is not controversial among physicists. This is established fact. But most people don't know it, or don't understand it, or refuse to accept it because it contradicts their intuitive sense of reality. But intuition is not a reliable guide to truth. Physics is, and physics says there is no now. Let me tell you about a conversation I had near the end of my life. A friend of mine, Michele Besso, had died. We had known each other for decades, studied physics together, discussed everything together. And when he died, I wrote a letter to his family. And in that letter, I wrote something that has since become famous. I wrote, "Now he has departed from this strange world a little ahead of me. That means nothing. People like us who believe in physics know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." Read that again. The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. I was not being poetic, not trying to comfort his family with vague philosophical speculation. I was stating a literal fact derived from physics. There is no objective distinction between past, present, and future. These are perspectives, coordinate systems, ways of slicing through space-time. But space-time itself, the four-dimensional structure, it contains all moments, all events, all of time, and none of them are more real than any others. Past, present, and future are equally real, equally existent. The feeling that the present is special, that only now is real, while the past is gone and the future doesn't exist yet, that feeling is an illusion, a persistent illusion, stubbornly persistent, because our brains are wired to experience it, but an illusion nonetheless.
This is hard to accept, I know. It contradicts everything your experience tells you. You feel the present moment. You feel time flowing, carrying you from past to future. You feel that now is real in a way that yesterday and tomorrow are not. But feelings are not facts. Experience is not reality. Your brain constructs a model of reality that's useful for survival but not necessarily accurate. And one of the features of that model is the sense of a flowing present moment, the sense of now. But this is a construction, a feature of consciousness, not a feature of the universe. The universe doesn't have a now. It has space-time, a four-dimensional block, and different observers slice through that block differently, creating different nows, all equally valid, none objectively true. This is what physics teaches, what experiments confirm, what mathematics requires. And if you're intellectually honest, if you care about truth more than comfort, you have to accept it. There is no now, at least not as an objective feature of reality. There's only your subjective experience of now, which is real as an experience, but not real as a property of the universe. Now let me tell you what this means for how you understand your own existence. If there's no universal present, if all moments of time exist equally in the space-time structure, then you are not a three-dimensional object existing only in the present moment. You are a four-dimensional object, a world line, extended through time from birth to death. All moments of your life exist, not one after another, with earlier moments disappearing as later moments come into being, but all of them simultaneously. Or rather, the word simultaneously doesn't even make sense here, because we're talking about something outside of time, about the complete structure. Imagine a movie reel. All the frames exist. The entire film is there, laid out on the reel. When you watch the movie, you experience one frame at a time, creating the illusion of motion, of story, of time passing. But the reel itself? Static, complete, all frames existing together. That's you. That's your life. The complete four-dimensional structure exists. Your consciousness experiences it frame by frame, moment by moment, creating the illusion of a present moment, of time flowing. But the structure itself, timeless, complete. All of your life, every moment from birth to death, existing as a permanent pattern in space-time. This is what you really are. Not a temporary being moving through time, but an eternal four-dimensional structure, unchanging, complete, always existing, because space-time exists, and you're part of it.
This should change how you think about death, about the past, about regret. If all moments exist, then your past still exists. Not as a memory, but as actual moments in space-time. When you were 5 years old, playing in the yard, that exists right now. Not right now in your subjective frame, obviously, but in the space-time structure. It's there, as real as this moment feels to you. And your future exists too. You at 80 years old, if you live that long. You on your deathbed. Those moments exist, already laid out in the structure. You just haven't experienced them yet, haven't gotten to those frames of the film, but they're there, waiting. Or not waiting, because waiting implies time, and we're talking about something outside time. They just exist, part of the complete structure. And this means death is not the end, not in the sense of ceasing to exist. Yes, there's a final moment of experience, a last frame, after which your consciousness no longer experiences new moments, but you don't cease to exist. You exist, all of you, your entire world line, permanently part of space-time, can never not exist, because space-time is what it is, and you're part of what it is. This is a kind of immortality, not the kind religions promise, not continued experience after death, but something else, eternal existence as a structure, as a pattern woven into the fabric of reality itself. And that pattern can never be undone, can never disappear, will always be part of what is. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Einstein, this is depressing. If everything is already laid out, if my future already exists, then I have no free will, no choice. I'm just experiencing a predetermined script, a movie that's already been filmed. And yes, that's one implication, one that troubled me greatly. If the future exists, if it's already there in the space-time structure, then it seems everything is determined, fixed. You can't change anything because there's nothing to change. The structure is what it is. But here's the thing. Just because the future exists doesn't mean you know what it contains. From your perspective, experiencing moment by moment, the future is unknown, open, and you make choices, real choices, based on your desires, beliefs, reasoning. And those choices have consequences, create outcomes. So, in a practical sense, you have agency. Your choices matter, even if from timeless perspective, from outside the structure, it's all laid out. This is the paradox of free will in a block universe, and I never fully resolved it. Don't think anyone has. But I came to peace with it by accepting that both perspectives are valid. From inside time, you have agency. You make choices. Your decisions matter. From outside time, it's all determined, already existing. Both true, simultaneously. Or not simultaneously, since we're beyond time. Just both true, in their respective contexts.
Let me ask you something now, because I want to know how you are processing this. Does the idea that there is no now, that the present moment is an illusion, does that frighten you, comfort you, make you feel more free or less free? Does it change how you think about your life, your choices, your mortality? Leave a comment below. Share your reaction, because this is profound. This is not just abstract physics. This is about the nature of existence itself, about what you are, what it means to be alive, to be conscious, to experience time. And different people react differently. Some find the block universe liberating. Others find it crushing. Some see it as proving life is meaningful because it's eternal. Others see it as proving life is meaningless because everything is predetermined. And I'm curious where you fall, what your intuition tells you, what your reasoning leads you to. So share. Let's explore this together. Because even though the physics is clear, the implications are not. And we're all trying to make sense of existence in light of what we've learned about time, about reality, about the death of now. Let me tell you about one more experiment, one that drives home just how relative now really is. The twin paradox. You've probably heard of it. One twin stays on Earth, the other travels to a distant star at near light speed, then returns. When they reunite,
The traveling twin has aged less than the earthbound twin. This is not science fiction. This is real, predicted by special relativity and confirmed with experiments with atomic clocks and particles. But here's what people often miss. It's not just that time passed more slowly for the traveling twin. It's that their nows diverged. While the traveling twin was zooming through space, his now, his present moment, was different from his brother's now back on Earth. Events that were in the past for one were still in the future for the other. Their presents, their nows, were slicing through space-time at different angles, creating different definitions of simultaneity. And when they reunited, they had to reconcile these different time experiences. The traveling twin literally experienced fewer moments, fewer nows, not because his clock was broken, but because time itself, his time, passed more slowly. He lived through fewer seconds, experienced fewer present moments. And this is not a thought experiment. We've done this with actual clocks, with particles, with every high-speed measurement. Time dilation is real, and it proves that now is not universal, not absolute, not the same for everyone. It's relative, personal, dependent on your motion through space-time.
And if now is relative, if different observers have different presents, then what does that say about the flow of time? About the feeling that time is passing, that we're moving from past to future? It says that this feeling too is subjective, personal, not a feature of the universe, but a feature of consciousness. Time doesn't flow. There is no objective movement from past to future. There's only the static four-dimensional structure of space-time, and consciousness experiences this structure moment by moment, creating the illusion of flow, the illusion of passage, the illusion of now. But these are illusions, persistent, convincing, useful illusions, but illusions nonetheless. The universe itself is timeless, not in the sense of existing forever through time, but in the sense of being outside time, containing all of time as part of its structure, with no moment privileged, no instant special, no now that's objectively present while others are past or future. All moments equally real, all equally existing. And consciousness, mysterious consciousness, somehow experiences this timeless structure temporally, sequentially, one moment at a time. How? We don't know. This is the hard problem of consciousness, the mystery of subjective experience. But that we do experience it this way, that we create the illusion of now, that's undeniable. What's also undeniable is that the illusion is just that, an illusion, not reality. So what should you do with this knowledge? How should understanding the death of the present change how you live? I think it should make you more present, paradoxically, not in the sense of experiencing some objectively existing present moment, but in the sense of fully engaging with your current experience. Because this experience, this moment of consciousness, is the only access you have to reality. You can't experience the past directly, can't experience the future directly. Only this frame, this slice through your four-dimensional world line. So make it count, make it meaningful, not because it's fleeting and will soon disappear, but because it's eternal. This moment you're experiencing right now will always be part of your world line, part of the structure. It exists forever, can never be undone. So how you experience it, what you do with it, that matters eternally. This is the moral implication of understanding time, not that nothing matters because everything is determined, but that everything matters because everything is eternal.
Every moment you create, every choice you make, every experience you have, it becomes part of the permanent structure of space-time, part of what is, forever. So choose wisely, experience fully, live in a way that's worthy of eternal existence, because that's what you're doing, whether you realize it or not.
And let go of regret. Let go of wishing the past were different, because the past exists unchangeably as part of the structure. You can't modify it, can't erase it. It is what it is. Regretting it is like regretting the shape of a mountain. Pointless. The mountain has its shape, the past has its events. Both are fixed, permanent, part of what is. So accept it, learn from it, let it inform your present experience. But don't waste energy wishing it were different, because it can't be different. It is what it is. This is harsh, I know, offers no comfort to those burdened by past mistakes or traumas, but it's true, and truth, even uncomfortable truth, is more valuable than comforting lies. The past exists forever, unchangeably, and so will your present actions, the moments you're creating right now. They too will exist forever, unchangeably. So create good moments, meaningful moments, moments worthy of eternal existence. That's the wisdom hidden in the physics of time, in the death of now, in the recognition that present, past, and future are all equally real and all equally permanent. Live accordingly. Let me end with this. The death of now, the recognition that the present moment is an illusion, it's one of the most profound discoveries of human intellectual history. On par with discovering the Earth orbits the Sun, that evolution created life, that atoms compose matter. These discoveries changed how we understand reality, our place in it, our nature. And the death of now is equally revolutionary, equally transformative. And yet most people don't know about it, or don't understand it, or dismiss it as abstract physics, irrelevant to daily life. But it's not irrelevant, it's fundamentally relevant, because it's about the nature of existence itself, about what time is, what you are, what it means to be alive and conscious and experiencing reality. This is not abstract. This is the most concrete, most important question there is, and physics has answered it. Not completely, not perfectly, but substantially. We know that time is not what common sense suggests. We know that now is relative, that simultaneity is observer-dependent, that space-time is a four-dimensional block containing all events. These are facts, verified, tested, confirmed, and they change everything. How you understand yourself, your life, your mortality, your choices, all of it needs to be reconsidered in light of what we've learned. That's what I'm asking you to do. Reconsider, question your assumptions about time, about the present moment, about now, because those assumptions are wrong, demonstrably wrong. And living based on wrong assumptions is living in delusion, however comfortable that delusion might be. So face the truth, however uncomfortable. There is no universal now. The present moment is an illusion. Time doesn't flow, and you are a four-dimensional being existing eternally in the structure of space-time. That's what you are. That's what reality is. And once you truly understand that, once you integrate it, everything changes. For the better, I believe. Because truth, even uncomfortable truth, is liberating. It sets you free from illusion, from false hopes and false fears, and allows you to see clearly, to live authentically, to be what you actually are instead of what you imagine yourself to be. That's the gift of understanding time truly, the gift of accepting the death of now, and it's a gift I'm trying to give you today. Hit subscribe to keep shattering comfortable illusions.